It's time to go live again, Vader. You all comfort in, ready to do this? What's up, everybody? This is Bobby back again for another episode of Martial Arts Movie Mondays, where if you haven't been to this show before, first, shame on you. Secondly, basically, we take a deep dive into one of my movies in my collection back here. We talk about the movie, talk about the movie itself, the fight scenes, and also talk about how it might have had some impact on my own personal martial arts journey. Last week, we didn't actually have a show per se. We didn't do one on Monday, but on Tuesday, we did a TV Tuesday, but also kind of served as our quarantine TV Tuesday movie section, where I did talk about a movie of the week, which was Firewalker with Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr. So maybe I'll redo another show specifically on that one this month or in April, since we're going to be quarantined a lot longer. We'll have more stuff to work on. But this week, we're going to move on to a different movie. I did talk about the plan to do something about Ip Man 4 because it's fixing to come out on our Hollywood Matrimony Live yesterday. But I want to save that for when the missus can join me. And she wasn't able to join me today because she had to go into her office. So I opted to go with my original choice that I was going to do in the first place before I thought she was going to be able to do this with me. But today, we're going to go with the 1994, I believe it is. Let me double check. I believe it's 1994. 1994, The Legend of the Drunken Master, starring the iconic, the always amazing Jackie Chan. If you don't know anything about this movie, it was released in the States. I believe it was after the success of Rumble in the Bronx. They started re-releasing, doing American releases of Jackie Chan's films. This one was another one that hit. It was hugely popular. It gave some of us a chance that had only seen pieces of it or bootleg copies of it, a chance to see it on the big screen, which I did. It is also technically a sequel to the 1978 Jackie Chan movie, Drunken Master, which was directed by Yu Woon Ping. I honestly, it's been so long since I watched the original, and I'll probably watch it at some point for the show. I don't remember how much it connects or if it ends up being more of a remake sequel kind of thing, to be honest. If you know, excuse me, comment below if you know the real answer to that. And you can tell me ahead of time. That makes it easier for me to do the show later. My early exposure to this movie was actually well before this movie came to the States with the English dub. And I've talked about this on the show before. I used to have a VHS. When you go to comic conventions and things like that, there used to be these bootleg video salesmen that sold TV shows and movies and things like this that weren't commercially released. So while they were bootlegs, they weren't out. So nobody really stopped them for years to sell their stuff. They had like tables and tables and tables of VHS tapes that just had white labels on them when it said what that is. I remember picking up a few things here and there, but the thing that I bought, I wish I still had, that I bought that I love the most was just these tapes would hold, if you're too young to know, at the right setting, these tapes could hold up to like 6 hours, right? So you could get 3 movies on it. But there was this one tape that was probably about 2 to 3 hours the way it was set. Nothing but fight scenes. Somebody had just gone, taken fight scenes out of the movies. They just edited them together. No storyline, no rhyme or reason to the fights. It was a mixture of Jet Li's and Jackie Chan's and Sammo Hung's and Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee and Cynthia Rothrock and kind of a little bit of hodgepodge of everything. But a lot of times they tried to focus on specific actors. And so I'd gotten 2 of them. One of them had tons of Jackie Chan stuff on it. And that is where I saw most of the fights from this movie for the first time out of context. I just saw them on that VHS, and I became obsessed. Obviously, by the time 1994, I believe I said, when this movie came out, I was already a black belt. So I had been in martial arts for quite a while at that point and had kind of learned my thing, but I was still watching stuff and obsessed with martial arts movies and stuff. But jumping further back to when I saw it on the video, and it wasn't further back from a standpoint of thing. I don't know when this got commercial released. I'm trying to see if there's a date on here when it actually hit. Hold on, man. And it may just be a U.S. release, so it may not give me an accurate date. But it doesn't look like it has one on here that I see anywhere. So anyway, but I remember seeing before I ever saw the complete film, no matter what the date was. I saw the fight scenes first. I just saw a hodgepodge of fight scenes. I'm like, holy crap! What this movie does hold a special place in my heart. From one big thing is it I was already obsessed because of Van Damme and the older Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan movies and stuff. I was obsessed with kicking. Always have been, still am today. I love kicking. I love doing crazy kicks. Excuse me. I'm not as big a fan of the trick kicking from a standpoint of like flipping in the air and stuff. Like it's impressive. I do jump kicks. I do some of the stuff, but to me, it loses some of the magic of the actual kick because it becomes acrobatic. And while it's very difficult, it's very impressive, and a lot of done by the right person. A lot of them are still very effective, especially people doing like capoeira and things like this, which I love. I'm referring to the tricking that's just done for the forms and the competitions and things like this. To me, it loses something from a straight up kick, whether it's a fast kick, a powerful kick, rapid fire kicking, whatever you want to refer to them as. Watching people like Van Damme or Chuck Norris when they would just kick the crap out of somebody. To me, that's what I love. Maybe it's because of my age, maybe it's my just traditionalist nature. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing the other stuff, but I like old school kicking. And with this film, there's a ton of fight scenes in this movie, right? There's tons of them. There's one specific fight scene, and I pulled up some information about it just because I've always been kind of obsessed about it. It's the last fight scene of the movie, and it actually, it's one of the scenes that I saw on that montage tape before seeing in this movie. And then I remember seeing this movie, I think in the theater, maybe a re-release, or maybe it was finally the Blu-ray or something, the DVD or VHS at the time. But I remember watching it and then realizing what movie I was watching, and I got even more excited. There's this fight at the end of the movie that's just insane. It's a long fight. I'm trying to see. I think it said in here, or am I on the old one? I'm on the old one. Hold on. Let me get back to the other one. It talks about the shooting and how long it took them to shoot this fight sequence. And it's between Jackie Chan and this other guy who I had pulled up, but I closed it out because I'm dumb. So let me pull it back up so I can tell you who he is, because I want to give this guy props. And I also thought it was kind of a cool note to that fight scene. The guy is a great kicker. Let's see, where's it at? I just lost it. Hold on. Ken Lo. Ken Lo is the guy's name. The fight scene is like 7 minutes long. They think it took them like 4 months to shoot it or something like that. And it shows every bit of it. They talked about, I remember reading something or watching Jackie Chan or something talking about it. They said that, each one day would usually give them like, I don't know, like 5 seconds of footage or 3 seconds or something like that. And there was so much detail and choreography and speed and everything else. And he was supposed to be fighting someone else at the end of the film, but the individual, I believe, kept hurting himself or kept spraining his ankle or something like that. So they ended up hiring Ken Lo. What's interesting to note is, if I'm not mistaken, Ken Lo is actually Jackie Chan's bodyguard in real life. So he had him do the fight scene. So he trained and got already a lot of stretching, a lot of flexibility, and he's an insanely good kicker. And he has this thing, this leg, I call it the Michael Jackson move, where he kicks his leg back and forth before throwing his kick. And I remember after doing that, I became obsessed with it. So I would do it from time to time when I was sparring. And it's actually effective. People look at you like you lost your mind, and you kind of did. So you do that, but it works. But that whole fight scene is worth the entire movie. But outside that, the movie has a lot of other great fight scenes, whether it's, you know, an opening one. They're clever fight scenes too, because there's an opening one, Jackie Chan and another guy underneath a train using a spear. That's great to watch. There's one that's in a restaurant, tavern kind of place where it's multiple floors. There's this gigantic bamboo thing that gets split, so it's using. And one thing I've always loved with Jackie Chan was his use of surroundings, using other items. The most famous is probably using the bench, the little mini benches that you just sit on. A lot of the period things they use. He works that bench into almost everything somehow, and it's always fun to watch. But there's a little bit of the comedy aspect there. But what really got me revisiting this movie that I remember, but I don't think I really remembered the impact, was there's a great emotional sequence that shows that Jackie Chan is more than just the fighting and more than just the comedy and more than just a great filmmaker. He's a great actor too, because there's a sequence where his character ends up in conflict with his father, and his father is shunning him. It's so great the way they executed it, and the way it's shot and the way it's looked at. It's just a really great thing. But it's a smaller chunk of the film. It sets up a lot of things because there's a whole mentality of not fighting and not doing this and not doing that, and the reason they don't want to do drunken boxing and those kind of things, and how drunken boxing, most drunken boxers actually become drunks because the way they set up drunken boxing in the movie, which in real life I've never trained in drunken boxing. From what I've read, everything has always been saying that it's actually not safe to practice drunken boxing actually drunk because it's dangerous. But in this movie, he gets better as he gets drunk. And they talk about like the lesson of, most drunken boxers end up becoming alcoholics or drunks because of that. That's why he kind of bans drunken boxing and doesn't want it done. So it's an interesting little twist on it. But either way, the movie itself, this picture seems to be fairly popular from there because that's almost the same picture, if not the same one from Rumble in the Bronx. And then they just surrounded it with him punching through paper instead of the cityscape. I don't know if it's the same one. I'm gonna have to go pull out the DVD and look at it. But there's so many great fights in this. Even Ebert and Roper, Siskel and Ebert, or Ebert and Roper. Sorry, not Siskel. Even they both gave it 2 thumbs up when this came out. So if it can grab people like that, it's a movie. If any martial artist that has never seen this movie is truly missing out. It's one the whole family can watch. It's violent, obviously, but there's not. The one good thing about a lot of the old Jackie Chan movies, especially, is there's tons of action. You have laughs, you have some comedy, but there's blood. There's bloody nose and things, but there's not like gore necessarily. Not a lot of bad language, not nudity typically. So there are movies that can still be watched. In my personal opinion, outside of maybe Police Story, I personally think that this is probably Jackie Chan's best movie when it comes to action. I think it's got some of the best done fight scenes that he's ever done. Police Story, right there with it, if not surpasses it. It's hard because it's a different kind of movie, but that entire mall scene is just batshit insane. But anyway, Legend of the Drunken Master. You don't need to see the original Drunken Master, although you should watch it too. You can watch this, and this was released here as like the Legend of the Drunken Master instead of Drunken Master 2, so that people would just watch it and not assume it was connected to something else. And you don't need to. It's its own story. It works well by itself, and it's damn good. I love this movie. This movie did make me become even more obsessed with kicking because of that guy and trying to do trick kicking, from not tricking, but like combinations and fakes a little bit more with my kicking than I probably did previously. And rewatching it reminded me of a lot of the stuff that I now teach my students, but also things that I haven't done myself in a long time that I kind of veered away from. So with my own training, especially with us kind of on lockdown, I'm doing a ton more training right now. So I may be revisiting some of these kicking drills again, and which means the rest of my class is going to have to suffer through them when we do them together. So anywho, today's movie, Legend of the Drunken Master, Jackie Chan, martial arts greatness. This is one of the top ones. This is one of the ones that is a must-see, in my opinion. If you're a martial artist and a martial arts movie fan, this is a must-see. You need to check it out. I'm sure it's on Blu-ray probably somewhere at this point. It's definitely on DVD somewhere. Make sure you find it. Drunken Master. All right, before we sign off today, I also want to let you know that because it's Martial Arts Movie Monday, ironically enough, we have a giveaway going on with a martial arts movie. We already announced it. It's already on the site at HollywoodMatrimony.com. We are giving away copies of Ip Man 4, the finale, the final chapter of the Donnie Yen Ip Man series. So if you want to win a copy of that, head over to HollywoodMatrimony.com. Go up to the contest link. It tells you exactly what you need to do to enter for it. And we would much oblige for you to check it out and jump in there. And of course, everyone wants a copy of Ip Man 4. Alrighty. All right. So that's going to be it for today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for this channel. Head over to our website, like I said, HollywoodMatrimony.com. Our Twitter page at HollywoodMatterMATR. Our Instagram page, Hollywood Matrimony, and our Facebook page, Hollywood Matrimony. And be with us tomorrow for an episode of TV Tuesdays, where me and the missus will talk about new and old, all kinds of TV stuff. Probably a lot of Tiger King discussion because that's the big thing right now. And then we'll be back again for another episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live this Sunday, exclusively. Well, not exclusively. This is exclusive. That one we do on Facebook and YouTube channel. But hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends. The more stuff we get from you, we don't make money off this stuff, but we do it for fun and the love of movies. But the more subscribers, the more views we get, the more great stuff we have to give away for absolutely free. I'll be posting it again on our Facebook page, so make sure you look it out. We still have a box of stuff that was supposed to be the convention All-Con. It started. I was there, and then it got shut down right at the beginning of all this coronavirus crisis that we're going through. But I still have a whole box of Blu-rays and DVDs and digital codes, stuff that I'm going to be giving away. I've listed it once, and I'm just going to keep giving it away. No money necessary, no contest. You literally just email me through the website and say, hey, I want one of the free prizes from All-Con. And I will email you the list of what's left, and then you pick and tell me what you want, and I will send it to you when I can go to the post office. It's that simple, okay? You will have to like our pages and that kind of thing, but that's free too, right? So anyway, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate y'all. All of you, be safe, be smart, stop hoarding toilet paper, just wash your hands, take a shower if you need to, and above all else, be nice to each other, stay indoors. Let's get over this crap together so we can get back out there, get more training, get more movies, and above all else, see one of each other face to face once again. All right, I love you all. Don't forget, keep your hands up, and I will see you next time. Peace.